push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my...
Hey, you beautiful faces, welcome to the Viral Report. I'm Lamar. Alright, so let's get into this thing. So we got a disturbing story coming out of Atlanta, Georgia, where we have two African-American young adults who are male and female. The male name is Messiah Young, and the female name is Tanaya Pilgrim. What they were doing, they were coming from peacefully protesting when Messiah sees his friend. So he sees this guy he knows, he kind of pulls over to the side, and they strike up a conversation. The police then start swarming in. So you got these two African-American cops, and this is what really pissed me off. These two African-American cops swarm over. They start running over to tackle the friend. The friend starts screaming and panicking like, you know, he doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't know what's happening because these cops, they just came out of nowhere. You have Messiah, he starts filming. I want you all to take a look at this disturbing video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Where you gonna go? Just drive on. It's not come on, man. It's like let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Go, man. He can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere. He can't go nowhere. Hey, give me an air. Give me an air. Hit the window. Open the window. Open the window! Stop the car! Put the car apart! Put the car apart! Put the car apart! Put it in park! Put the car apart! Hit the unlock! Hit the unlock! Hit the unlock! Hit the unlock! We're across with American in the park.
White people got you believing just because I'm telling a nigga to stop getting his head kicked in by the police, to take the gun he would use to shoot his brother in a second and kill the motherfucking cop that's killing you, your family, and everybody else on the block. You know what I'm saying? Kill that motherfucker. That is not insane. That is sane and straight like a motherfucker. That's positive, like a motherfucker. Because from where I'm standing, that would save a black family. You know what I'm saying? But from where they standing, that would keep another motherfucker off welfare. And keep another motherfucker shooting at cops, crooked cops that be trying to shoot us down. So fuck them.
So after that disturbing video went viral, Keisha Lance Bottoms, who's the mayor of Atlanta, she actually fired the two police officers who initially started this whole chaos. And the district attorney ended up pressing charges against 4 other officers. Now, after the firings and the charges were brought against these officers, the police chief came forward to make a statement and defense and to support these police officers. She came out to basically say that these firings and these charges that were brought up against these officers were basically pure political. Because if we were not in the climate that we're in right now, these police officers would still be on the force. And this has been such a ripple effect in the city of Atlanta that other counties around Atlanta have pulled their police officers from out of these protests. So there's less manpower to man these protests and these riots that are going on. Because what these other police departments are saying is that, hey, we don't want our cops fired. We need to keep as many people on our police force. We don't need this controversy. So we're going to pull out and y'all have a nice day. Now, while all that political nonsense was playing out, the two victims of this terrifying situation, they started to speak out. So I want you all to take a look at what Tanaya had to say, and then I want you all to take a look at what Tanaya and Messiah had to say to Good Morning America. And then I'll be back to wrap up the video.
It was the worst experience of my life, and like it was truly traumatizing.
And I saw you and you looked scared.
I was terrified. Like, I was beyond terrified. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to move. I didn't know what my next move could be, or I'll be dead. You know what I mean? I had no clue what was going on, no clue what to do. It was so fast. It was just so much commotion. There was no way to even think about what to do next.
And I was going to ask you what was running through your mind, because someone did say like they could have shot you or something like that.
Yeah.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they did, and what was going through my mind, I honestly, I can't even tell you guys. I was just so terrified. I didn't know what to do. What was going through my mind was how not to die. That's what was going through my mind. I was afraid for me. I was so afraid for Messiah. Like, it was just ridiculous, and he did everything he could to protect me, and I'm happy about that, and I really love him.
How's he doing?
So he's just recently been released, finally, and I'm gonna go see him now, and I haven't really spoken to him yet.
What do you want people to know, people that are watching this video, people that are supporting you? What do you want to tell them? Were you injured at all? I mean,
so what I would want to tell people is, like, it's hard to even say. I don't know words that can describe don't do this or maybe do this differently, because even doing nothing and being peaceful, it's still something to them. So I would just say be strong, do all you can, fight, and we'll end this.
And can you let people know how you are physically and mentally right now?
Physically, I'm okay. I'm a little sore, like, you know, stuff that happens when you get tased and thrown on the floor. And mentally, I'm not too well. I don't really want to speak about it because it was a lot and it just happened, but...
It's the kind of encounter sparking protests across the country. Body cam video captures Atlanta police violently confronting 2 college students over the weekend. Messiah Young and Tanaya Pilgrim say they were getting something to eat when they got stuck in traffic during a protest.
Get out the car. No,
I don't know what's going on.
What happened next made them fear for their lives. Moments later, one of the officers smashes the window before using a stun gun to drag them out of the car. Young suffered a fractured arm, needed 20 stitches. But the pain felt by the community quickly turned to anger.
Use of excessive force is never acceptable.
We were kind of in a traffic jam. It was very hard to move, very hard to get down the street. It was bumper to bumper. And I see a friend of mine on the sidewalk. So, of course, naturally, I just say, hey, what's up? You know, I'm talking to him, making sure he's okay. This probably lasted about 10 seconds. And all of a sudden, he just tackled, like, just straight separated from the car. He was literally an inch away from where I was, like from the passenger seat, or from the driver's seat, I'm sorry. And he was just taken aback. They literally just threw him to the ground and tackled him. Soon, there was just so many cops swarming the car, literally just out of nowhere. And from then, it was just utter chaos. Like, it's literally just...
And Tanaya, I know this has all happened so fast and it's so hard to process, but you actually felt right in that moment that you might die in that car.
Yeah, I actually thought both me and Messiah were gonna die. Like, the way everything happened so fast, there was no telling what could happen in the next moment, because from 10 seconds before to the time it was going on, who could have predicted any of this?
Do you have any sense of why the officers were so aggressive so quickly?
Basically, just because when they tackled him, we were there, basically. Like, yeah, we saw what happened. Like, we were there. We saw everything. We were so in shock. So who knew what was going to happen next? We had no clue.
The officers, 2 of the officers, as you know, has been fired, and 3 others have been put on desk duty. Mr. Davis, what more do you expect, what more do you want to have happen now in the department and with those officers?
We would like for the officer to be criminally prosecuted. Additionally, there were other officers. What was captured on film was not the end of the torment that these 2 young people experienced. And so there are other officers that we want the city to hold accountable, and we want them fired and prosecuted as well. And so that has to happen for there to be any sense of justice for these young people and their families.
And Mr. Stewart, will you be taking civil action as well?
Definitely. Right now, we're already starting to work on all of the proper documents and getting the lawsuit ready, but this is going to be bigger than a lawsuit. There have to be fundamental changes with policing. I mean, just look across the country.
And Messiah, what's your message now, having gone through this, to everyone watching at home about what happened, about the police, about what kind of changes you want to see now in the country?
At this point, this just needs to cease. All of the brutality in every department throughout the country, it just needs to end.
All right, so y'all just seen what Messiah and Tanaya had to say, and I'm glad they lowered it up, and I'm glad they're getting ready to sue the hell out of that city, because it is rightfully warranted. This whole situation just pissed me off. It really, really did. And, you know, police officers are only doing this because their authorities are being challenged by the public right now. Their evil, corrupt behavior is being so challenged by the masses around the world. You know, they are really, really pissed off of this George Floyd situation, because what it could usher in is one of two things. It could usher in more exclusive power for them, for the police officers, or it could usher in more rights for ordinary citizens. And that's the part that scares them, that they won't be able to carry out their corrupt behavior. And the problem is these mayors, the problem is these governors and the DAs. That's the problem with all this stuff that you see playing out with these cops. They know that they can brutalize and kill civilians without a stain on their record, without any consequences, because they know the DA is going to have their back. They know the judges are going to have their back. The jury is going to have their back. You have your own skin folks doing the same thing that these white folks are doing. And what happened to these black cops should be a wake-up call to all these African American cops and other people also. You can't go around brutalizing people at like your white counterparts, because there are going to be severe consequences for your ass. And that's the problem with these black police officers, male and female. They get into these police departments and then they try to assimilate. Instead of going by the righteous humanity code, they try to go by the blue code. And that's why you have all these cops. All cops are bad, because none of them stand up for the rights of the everyday citizens. They see all this stuff plays out. They see racial stuff play out in the police force. They hear these racial conversations. They hear talks about body counts. You can't tell me that these cops don't get off by brutalizing and killing ordinary citizens. These cops are they're just rogue agents. And the frustrating part is, we as African Americans, we pay part of their salaries, our tax dollars. So in essence, we're actually paying them to kill us. That's the frustrating part, and that's what people should be even more angry about. You're basically paying for your family members, your friends, and your colleagues, and just people who look like you to be murdered. Your tax-paying dollars come out of your paycheck every single time you get paid. Every 2 weeks, every week, however your pay structure is set up. You're paying these cops to whoop your ass and murder you, and that is unacceptable. Our tax-paying dollars also goes to settle million-dollar lawsuits every time one of these rogue cops want to act crazy and start beating and killing someone. So, yeah, again, this whole situation just pissed me off. This is going to be such a traumatic experience for these two young folks, you know, for the rest of their lives. And to know that a black guy did this to them. My stomach could rest a little differently if it was, you know, a white cop. I can digest that differently. It's hard to digest your own brutalizing you like that when they already know what we go through. What happens if African Americans, they join the police force and they don't see this anymore. You know, they see this on the police force, that they know that they're a black cop. But when they're out on the streets, they don't see themselves as black. Oh, I ain't black, I'm blue. There should be no reason a cop should be able to murder or even terrorize regular civilians when the military can't even come in your city and do the same thing that these damn cops are doing. So that rounds up my video here. Let me know your thoughts on this crazy situation. Do you think that the cops were in the right for terrorizing these damn kids? Or do you think that the cops should have handled this stuff a lot differently than they went about it? And do you think that it's right that Messiah and Tanaya are actually suing the city? Or do you chalk it up to they should have had their damn asses at home and not been out protesting when they already know that it's dangerous out in the protest land? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.
Hold up, baby, let me show you what they did to Tupac Shakur. All that movie, that didn't mean nothing to OPD. I was still an NIGGA, and they proved it. And if you can see this, Mr. Cameraman, all of this is scars I'll go to my grave with.
I can see
These are
it.
learn to be a nigga scars. That's what
Who did that to you?
Oakland Police Department. All above my eye, all that.
Why?
And I pay their salaries. Because I was an outspoken young black man. They were sweating me for jaywalking.
You were jaywalking and they stopped you?
And I swear to you, I don't even know what jaywalking is. Didn't until they beat me down for it. They stopped me. They asked me for my ID. My real name is Tupac Shakur. There's nothing fake about me. There's no stage name or stage aura. That's my name. And that's how I said it. My name is Tupac Shakur. Just because my name wasn't John Brown, it irked them. So they started, saying, what your mother named you that for? Blah, blah. So I got hot. That was beyond Call of Duty.
So I was like, give me my citation, let me go about my business. And I said the words that NWA made famous. So that got him too high. He couldn't stand to see a young black male tell him. So they put their hands on him.
You're suing them?
10 mil.
We'll see
what else
happens.
can I do? You know, we'll see what happens. You know how that goes.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other color, so police think.
Are you about to kill this man?
Pop these niggas like.
Who the
playing. I didn't do it.
Oh man, if you made it this far in the video, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It ain't a party until you subscribe. I love you for watching. I'll see that beautiful face in the next one. Peace!